Welcome to The Topic, where we highlight Houston Community College, our students, our programs, and our reach into the community. I'm Todd Duplantis. How long has it been since you've been to the library? Well, if it's been a few years, like myself, well, today's libraries have changed a lot in many ways, and in many ways they're still the same. Joining me now is Mick Stafford from HCC Library Services. You're the executive director there.
That's correct.
Tell me first off, I would imagine in the age of Google and having a cell phone where we look up everything, whether or not it's true, has the role of libraries changed?
Definitely. I think the role we kind of adapt and go with what the students already know. So we have to kind of realize that the students have access to a lot of information already. I know when I was in library school, and even when I was using libraries, it was really about trying to find information. It wasn't easily accessible. When you have Google, you can do a search and you can find a lot of information. So a lot of information is actually indexed, so you can almost find anything. Like you can find notice of a book in Amazon, you can fact check, and I think our students are doing all of these things. What the library does, and what we try to do, especially when we have an audience of students, is that we're teaching skills. We're teaching critical consumption skills. We're teaching students how to deal with the information that's given to them, whether we call it fake news now or whatever it is we call it, whatever's in vogue. What we do is we try to make them critical consumers of information. But not only critical consumers of information, but ethical users of information. Like your studio here, we actually have some one-button studios, which are the ability for students to actually make short videos. And so in those instances, they create a video and they may need to know exactly, how can I play a music clip in my video, especially if I'm going to make it public.
It's royalty free and all that.
Exactly. So we have to be aware to teach these skills. So we are more involved in the creation part of information. So the students can find information, and we still have that role. You're right. We still have that traditional role. We have over 7,000 electronic journals that HCC subscribes to. We have 260,000 books, so we have all those things that you would expect a library to have, but we have to work inside of a different environment, especially in the online world.
You're talking about, one of the things you mentioned, you're teaching students things about royalties and how they use videos. They're going to learn that real fast when they post a video on Facebook. That's how you learn the quickest, through trial through fire, and I guess that's things you address with when you're teaching them how to be consumers of information.
Right. Well, absolutely. They'll find that stuff out. They're going to talk to students. They're going to find information. And you're right, they're going to, by trial by fire, they're going to do some things that maybe they shouldn't do. Now, in a more practical sense, obviously our students do a lot of research and they do a lot of papers for their classes. So the other part of ethical use of information, obviously, would be citing things properly, giving credit where credit is due, attribution.
Which we don't seem to do much these days in the days of
absolutely, absolutely. And even learning how to paraphrase. And we teach all of these skills at the library. It's important.
You talked about resources, and we discussed earlier your position was created because this college is going through a transformation by our chancellor. Tell me how you support student success, and I know you offer resources like computers for students as well.
So a lot of things were in place before I got here. It was an amazing library system. What I think one of my big roles as an executive director over a really large library system is to kind of create that consistency, that performance excellence across the district, to make sure that if somebody goes into one library, well, they're not going to have the exact same experience, they'll have access to some of the same resources. One of the first things that actually happened was we kind of made our library hours even more consistent. We noticed that we
noticed that. We did promos for you guys, as a matter of fact.
Absolutely. So opening on Sundays, knowing that the students need access to these facilities 7 days a week, being in a position of an executive director, I think that made that process a lot more easy and a lot more seamless. In our transformed HCC, I think it made it a little bit easier to do it across the district.
Well, thank you for telling us about this today and joining us on The Topic. We look forward to speaking with you in the future. For more information on our library system at HCC, you can visit hccs.edu/library. For The Topic, I'm Todd Duplantis. See you next time.